Well, a happy Valentine's Day to you all. So how do we celebrate Valentine's Day? Like everyone does, with logarithms. What, you don't do, whatever. Okay, so we're gonna talk about logarithm properties first, okay? Three main ones we start with day one. Product property, the quotient property, and the power property. Now, what this states is anytime you have a log and its product inside here can be represented by separating it into two logs, adding the two products. So a simple example of that. Let's say I had log base 3 of 27x. Now, I could write this as log base 3 of 27 plus log base 3 of x. Does everybody see you just split it apart? Now, if I wanted to go next level, I could even do this. I could do log base 3 of 3 plus log base 3 of 9 plus log base 3 of x. You see, even though it's a number, I can break it apart however I want as long as these two multiply to my original quantity there. So that's a quick way of how to use the product power. Now, if we break them apart through addition when we multiply, when we do division, we subtract. So, if I wanted to kind of expand log base 5 of 2x over 11, I would make it log base 5 of 2x minus log base 5 of 11. Very basic. If you're dividing, you can represent it through subtraction. Now keep in mind, we can also do something along the lines of, let's say I had log base 5 of 2. You understand, I could create this any way I want. I could use these skills and make it log base 5 of, let's say, 10 minus log base 5 of 5. Notice the numbers I chose, if I were to combine them through division, it would give me 2. That's another way to use the quotient property through expansion. All right, last one. Log base 4 of 25. Now this uses the power property. Now the power property states any quantity that has an exponent or can be written with an exponent, you can rewrite it with that quantity with the exponent out front, now almost serving as a coefficient. So if I think of log base 4 of 25, well, I'm going to think of that really fast as log base 4 of 5 squared. Well, that makes sense. 25 is the same thing as 5 squared. Because we're using logs, we can make it 2 log base 4 of 5. So it's a quick way on how we can use my properties to expand things. But it's a two-way street. You can go back and forth. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to expand a logarithm, and then we're going to compress a logarithm into one. Okay? So let's take a look at what we have. They give us log base 3 of the quantity r times s divided by t. So there's a couple things going on here. First off, I am multiplying r and s. So using the product property, if they're multiplying it together, we can break it apart by addition. Log base 3 of r plus log base 3 of s. Now, after that occurs, we're dividing by t. Well, through the expansion of the quotient property, instead of dividing by t, you can write that as a separate logarithm that is being subtracted. These are equivalent. They are equivalent, and that is a quick way on how to use our properties to expand another logarithm. Now, let's say we have to shrink this. So now we have to identify what properties they're using already. Notice there's a number in front of a logarithm. That means this was originally log base 3 of x squared. I got another one over here. So nothing changed yet in the middle, but that's 1/2 power. So I can make it y to the 1/2, right? But think about what the 1/2 power is. Square root y. Doing okay? Now again, we work left to right. So what we're doing here is taking an x squared and dividing it by 7, and then that's getting multiplied by square root y. So let's combine this one at a time. I now have log base 3 of x squared over 7 plus log base 3 of square root y. Make sense? They're subtracting, which means we put them together as one logarithm. It has to be representing division. Lastly, we're going to add, which means we do multiplication. So all of this is coming from log base 3 of x squared square root y all over 7. And that is a quick tutorial on how to use the 3 most basic log properties to expand or condense a logarithm. And we'll be using that a lot in the future to solve. Make sure you know how to use it.